Hi, I'm Adam Duffus, the Managing Director of VA for You, and this is Task Me Anything, a podcast dedicated to helping you with VAs in your business. We started this business a few years ago with the goal of reducing wage stress within your business, increasing employee happiness, and driving productivity through the roof. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy this week's episode. Welcome to Task Me Anything, a podcast from VA for You. I am thrilled to be joined today by two incredible guests that play a huge role in revolutionizing property management at Remax Results in Bayside. First, we have Emma Goodfellow, Director of Property Management, whose leadership has been instrumental in scaling their rent roll to over 1,000 managements. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you.
And also joining us all the way from Sri Lanka is my right arm in Sri Lanka, Chamil, a true pioneer in this space. Chamil was one of the first VAs brought on and has been with us since day one and is now our country manager in Sri Lanka. He leads an incredible team of nearly 50 Sri Lankans, and it's great to have you on live from satellite, Chamil.
Hi, Adam. Nice meeting you all too. It's a pleasure
Awesome.
talking to you.
All right, so we're going to do some icebreaker questions. Get to know you. Emma, if you could use one app on the phone for the rest of your life, what app would it be?
Would just be Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah. And just
Not TikTok?
No, I'm not a TikTok girl. I always forget about it. But no, Instagram. I can just still communicate with people still.
That's true. Chamil, what's the strangest and most unexpected thing you've ever had to deal with in property management?
Okay, cool. Interesting question. So I was mostly into maintenance when I was supporting the property managers in Australia. So I remember once a tenant, he called me over and said, "Hey, mate, I have a bad odor that's coming in my room. Can you just look into it?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure. If you could just shoot me through a maintenance request through the system, so I can get it sorted for you." So he hung up the phone, and we do have a system where we need to input all the information, and then you need to upload a picture as well of whatever the issue that you're going through or whatever the problem that you're facing. So guess what? So he had typed his issue saying, "Yeah, I have a bad odor in my room," and guess what the picture was? He was like holding his nose like this. "Man, this is my problem." Yeah, that was so funny.
That's nice Australian humour. Emma, if your workday had a theme song, what would it be?
The Climb by Miley Cyrus.
I don't know the song.
Just keep
Is it
climbing.
about keep going up?
Yep, keep going up.
Okay, I like that too. Chamil, what is the biggest culture shock from working with the Aussie property managers to working with Sinhala tigers or lions in Sri Lanka?
Well, the biggest culture shock, I would call it like how strictly they follow the rules, especially the Australian property managers, especially no shortcuts. Everything needs approval, proper documentation, and licensed tradies. So if you look at Sri Lanka, we often find quick, practical fixes. But in Australia, even changing, I would say, a tap washer might need a plumber. So that's one of the biggest, cultural shocks.
Nice. Emma, if you could swap jobs with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
I would swap with one of the Kardashians.
And not have a job.
No, pretty much.
Oh, some of them have jobs.
Some of them, they've created some good empires.
Yeah,
I know
this
they
is
get
true.
judged, but I don't know. To me, they're a little bit inspirational.
I'd swap with them too. All right, Emma, this and that, fast fire round. Beach holiday or a city escape?
Beach holiday.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Emails or phone calls?
Phone calls, definitely.
Excel sheets or handwritten notes?
Handwritten notes.
Netflix binge or a weekend adventure?
Weekend adventure.
Coffee or tea?
Neither. Doesn't have to be one, doesn't it?
Not if
Tea.
you-
I'll go tea.
Tea, yeah. It doesn't need to be English breakfast tea. It could be a green tea. All right, let's do our main questions to talk about VAs. Emma, in just a few years, you've scaled the Remax Results in Bayside business massively. Can you talk us through how VAs has played a role in that growth?
In the growth, that means that our property managers have been able to manage more properties because they're there assisting the PMs. This means that they can then build on their relationships with clients, which is our number one focus.
Yeah. And you've got VAs that do help the property managers, but you've got a VA that helps yourself. Mm-hmm. You've got a VA that helps your BDMs.
Yes.
What do they do specifically for the BDMs?
For BDMs, they do the data pulling, data calls. They do newsletters.
Yeah.
What I like about you guys is that everybody is willing to just try something new. As long as you can show them, they'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose from me being on the inside, I've been working with you guys now for 5-6 years, including smoke alarms. You know, one of the things I've noticed is that the same property managers that were there 5 years ago are still there today.
Yeah.
And that's almost unheard of.
Yeah.
So why is that?
I think the support system goes back to support and culture. I think that we've created a great team and they've got the support. I only said it to another business owner the other day is, they were talking about a staff member and what could possibly be wrong. And I'm like, just ask them, what support do they need?
Yeah. And it's so funny. I walk into the Bali office and I see Yuka or AU or P, and they always have presents to bring home or, it's just they've just got such a brilliant relationship with their property manager.
They do.
And the VA that it just seems unbreakable.
And that's what we're trying to create. Like definitely myself, every time a new VA starts, I say, you're not just a data entry person. We want you to grow with the business. We want you to learn and understand why we do things. We don't want you just to be this hidden person.
Yeah.
So like when the PMs go away, some of the times they are, sending out that communication for us. So some owners love, they're like, oh, thanks, Yuka. And it's just.
And you got them on the morning meetings. Like they're just there. They're just like anything.
And that's it. We make them part of our weekly meetings. They have one-on-ones with their associated person. And and last year I even got them in on Jet Xavier training.
Oh, yeah, Jet Xavier training. Yeah. Mindset training.
Yeah.
Yeah, never loved that.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty cool.
Chamil, you started at day one with Remax, so that's why I got you on today, is because you were there from day one.
You stole him.
Yeah. What were the things you loved about property management in Australia?
So basically, property management wasn't just about the bricks and the mortar. It was about connecting with the owners, connecting with the tenants, understanding their needs, and creating that real sense of community between the property managers and the owners and the tenants. So we basically focused on personalized services and building trust. Especially trust was one of the key things that we focused on while we were building that relationship. So which made the biggest difference with regards to Australian property management.
And everyone loves you, Chamil. I came back from maternity leave and I'm like, who's this Chamil? Who is he? And they're like, oh, you're going to love him. He got us everything.
It's what I do notice about the Sri Lankan team too, Chamil. You guys aren't boxed in. You're very happy to, we often put on a property manager from Sri Lanka and then, I'll do my 6-week in checkup and they're doing property management, but they're also now doing sales prospecting and they're doing, there's just no, set area that you need to be stuck into.
Absolutely.
Even Chamil was on phones for our Christmas party one year.
Oh,
yeah,
answering the phone.
Yeah, he was reception. He nailed it.
That was my first experience in handling a reception. I have never done it in my life for the past 10 years of my work experience, and doing it for the first time in an Australian property management or a real estate industry. That was really cool.
And that just shows you the trust, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Emma, what are the key metrics you track your ROI on your investment?
Obviously, the cost of them compared to having someone here is always the return on investment. And again, just the number of properties that a property manager can then manage. Yeah, definitely.
Would that be your, what's one piece of gold is growing your portfolio within each property manager? That's what you'd use VAs for as your primary thing. So get people up to 250, 300 properties they can manage.
That's exactly
seamlessly.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
If you were chatting to a business owner or a head of property management today and they said, I'm hesitant about bringing on VAs, I had a bad experience 5 years ago, what would you say to them now?
Well, I'd definitely say it's well worth it. It's beneficial for any business. And like I said, they're just willing to do anything. So you can train them in anything. They're not just set for specific things, special tasks. So I would say that come see you guys.
I love that. That's perfect.
But definitely it's well worth it. That just taking that admin tasks away from them so that their PMs can then have those phone conversations, build those relationships with their other clients, because that's our number one mission, is to have those beautiful relationships.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, both of you. Thanks, Chamil. Hope the weather's over there is lovely. And thanks, Emma.
Thank you for
appreciate
having us.
everything we're doing together, and I appreciate your business immensely.
Thank you. Hi, Chamil. Bye, Chamil. Good to see you again.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank
Adam and
you.
Emma.
Thanks all.
See you. Bye.
Bye.